Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's I Can Geek Gamecast, episode 443. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gast, joined by Mike Sneedy.
What's up?
Corey Feinsod.
Yo!
And Tony Korkanakis.
Hey.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners and viewers, to 443 of the Gamecast. We had a great movie cast episode. If you don't listen normally, check it out. It's the Endgame predictions episode.
Endgame.
So check that out. This episode, we are going to be going over the NPD. Is the biggest thing that came out, I think. Mortal Kombat's got some news too, which I'm sure we're all interested to get into. But first, let's get into what we've been up to, guys. I'll kick us off. I played the most recent thing I played, newest, is Cuphead. Besides the Diablo 3. And as in a Switch release. So I got picked that up the other day. Last week when it came out, I got it on Switch. And yeah, the game is as hard as I remember. You know what?
Using just the Joy-Cons or using the controller?
So I'm doing it handheld, and that runs into the problem because I have to kind of position my hand over because the Y button is the shoot right now by default, and the B button is the jump, but then the A button is the like the advanced, and then the X is the what do you call it? The dodge. Thank you. The parry. Parry's a better word. So I've not really gotten into the point where I really need to use the parry at the moment, so it's not a big deal. But I've noticed a couple things with it, frame rate wise. But apparently that sounds to me now like a glitch because Tony posted that information from Digital Foundry, and you look. It didn't happen all the time, but it did happen. So I was like, okay, I guess there's some frame rate issues here. But and it doesn't look quite as good, but it looks really good still. I mean, the way the art works in Cuphead, it's not.
It's more about art style.
It doesn't have to be in 4K. It looks, it's a 50s style cartoon. But I'm enjoying it. The only thing the biggest gripe I have, and it's not even the frame rate. It's the what's the buttons that are. They're not convex, they're concave. Is it the right? Is it the Yeah. I don't like that. Like that eventually starts to hurt your thumb when you're holding down the shoot button the whole time and they're pushing up against your, it doesn't. Yeah, I like the is it concave is the inward one, right? Convex is the out.
Mm-hmm.
So they're convex buttons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
most
wish,
buttons are.
Yeah, I know, but I kind of wish as they're so
triggers,
tiny.
like the triggers.
Yeah, but they're so tiny that it's like they kind of press against your thumb.
Can you not map it to like your trigger?
You can, and I should, because I did that on the Xbox to help the control better with the way it works with dodging. I have to do that because
you want like moving your thumb from here to here is too long.
You have to stop, yeah. So I have to move it, but just I've gone. You don't have to do that in the first stage, the first area, because of the way that the bosses are. So I'm just kind of playing it, and I'm not done with the first area yet. I'm on the airplane part, but it's great to.
Does this come with the DLC or?
I think so. I haven't gotten that far. I don't know. I haven't looked that far into it. I mean, I'm playing this game because first of all, I never finished Cuphead on the Xbox because it got way too hard, and second of all, this game is such a, it's such a contained thing that you can just pick it up and play it for like a minute or two at a time. Sure, you can get caught up for 20 minutes on a boss, but so far
20 minutes.
That's all so far. Yeah, I know. So, but I'm enjoying it, being able to play it in handheld as like a break from work. Like I'm quite enjoying that. I played it on my lunch break today, more, and I really enjoy having like pick it up and then like you get interrupted, you can put it down, hit the power button, come right back to where you were. Could be like mid jump, unfortunately, sometimes, but you can at least go right back to that boss fight. I was worried because the load times seemed a bit longer, which is weird, but they seem a bit longer to get into the battles. But once you die, that reload is fine, which is great because that's the key. If you're dying like a billion times, I was like, please don't make it this long. Yeah, I was like, please don't make it this long. So, but it's very good port over to the Switch, and it's awesome to see. And I'm so close to buying Sekiro as well, but I'm like, I know.
Just rent it. Why buy it?
Because Redbox.
Well, don't they have the new 48-hour thing?
That's only on select titles at GameStop.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Days Gone is the first one about that.
Yeah. Well, I did pre-order Days Gone for those wondering, because I went there and they were giving bonus credit only for that game. So I was like, yeah, sure. Put I traded Devil May Cry 5, and he's like, well, you get another 20% if you put it towards this game. I'm like, sure, put it towards. I have no intentions. Yeah, but then they have that 48-hour thing with that game, so I'm like, maybe I'll give that a try now.
So I mean, actually, I would want to play that game if I had time. I don't have time right now.
So that's really the biggest thing that I've been up to. Mike, you were on vacation, but you get to play some more Smash.
Yeah, I accidentally started talking about this in the movie cast.
That's okay.
Jet lagged, but yeah. So I brought the Switch on a trip to Reno. Played it on the plane a little bit, but also there with my friends there, and it was good. We used to play, so we played it again. But like I said before, I'm pissed off because one of them guys has the high score in All-Star Smash instead of me by like 3, but still.
Oh.
So I got to get in that again. But no, it definitely worked out. If you know anything about Reno, and one of the reasons why I think my friend went there, there's certain things legal there that aren't everywhere else.
Really? Like what?
I don't know. Things that may or may not enhance or encumber video game playing. So it was interesting to see what enhanced.
I did like your comment about the casinos have actual arcades.
Yes, they do. The 2 casinos I went to there had like full-blown arcades in them, and they were.
That's like a dying thing. So
yeah, no, it was nice.
Yeah, I mean, not to get on the tip, but like I think the traditional like mall arcade, that's dead. But arcades for adults, I think that's booming. Actually,
for the record, there's a new one opening in Rockaway. It doesn't. The problem I have is like it doesn't have like a liquor license. You can't even. I don't know if you can bring your own.
So it's no Dave and Buster's yet, right?
Yeah, I think it's not. But it's like an old fashioned arcade. They have the machines in there. They haven't opened yet, but they're building it. It looks awesome. And like,
you guys have a round one in New Jersey?
No,
round one.
No.
You sure you don't have one in New Jersey?
I don't know.
So I'll look it up right now.
I've been the one. I don't know.
Round one is amazing. That is like what I'm talking. Like think of Dave and Buster's, but done right. Like
done right.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Like Dave and Buster's is like okay. It's like
Dave and Buster's is like the adult Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Like round one, it's like this is an adult arcade plus like a bowling alley plus billiards plus karaoke. Plus, like game like carnival games and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's there's a casino called Circus that had a lot of arcade stuff in it, and it had that stuff too. It had like carny games and stuff. Obviously, there's alcohol everywhere, and you can gamble.
Yeah.
If you go somewhere else, it's not exactly the same spot as the arcade, but it's a different level. It's a big place, obviously.
Where in the hell is Deptford?
So
where the hell is?
But anyway, it was definitely cool. We got like a nice 4 or 5 person Mario Kart in the arcade going. So it was definitely a fun thing to see some arcades and 2 different casinos there. So maybe that's the thing.
That's all the way down by Cherry Hill. That's like it's
that's near us.
Philadelphia is closer actually than Cherry Hill for me.
Yeah. So, it's practically another state.
Yeah. Jesus. Oh, okay. But yeah. I'm psyched to see that this is opening by me. I'm hoping it's good, and I hope they at least like a bring your own beer kind of thing. Because I understand you don't get a lot of like liquid on your arcade.
Oh, New Jersey liquor licenses are so stupid anyway. Like they're way too expensive. I'm not surprised.
I understand that. I understand why they don't own it because yes, it's $250,000 for the license.
Lose it so easily.
Yeah, it's $250,000 for a liquor license in that kind of a place. It's ridiculous in New Jersey, but the bring your own beer is a different thing. It's like it's a lot easier to get that.
Yeah, that's what BGR is. Bring your own beer.
Yeah, so as long as you can. Oh, really? You have that there?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I gotta become buy it a little more.
We're not allowed. We're technically not allowed to advertise it, so I didn't just do that now.
Oops. It wasn't an advertisement. We were just talking. But yeah, so I think that I don't know. I think that having this thing is still freaking out on me. I don't know. I think having that would be great, but it's cool to see. Like I hear about our old arcades again. That
there's that Yestercade in Somerville.
Oh, I've not been there.
I went to the. I think there was something similar to that in Red Bank actually. Mm-hmm. It was like that, except it also had consoles that you could like place too. It was pretty cool actually. I really liked it. It went by hours.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's what Master Kid does.
All right, Corey, what have you been up to?
Not too much. It's funny we're gonna talk about Mortal Kombat, but like I really like the lore of Mortal Kombat actually because I think it's pretty interesting. They did a great job with 9 and 10, the story mode of Mortal Kombat, and what's hilarious is that the entire somebody cut the entire Mortal Kombat 11 cutscenes into a movie already on YouTube, and you can watch it on YouTube. So I watched that for like an hour because
it's a little over 3 hours, right?
It's over 3 hours long.
Yeah.
And it's pretty hilarious. I think it's a pretty neat concept how they created lore to bring these characters back, and it's like making me think about like the time shenanigans that we're gonna get in like Endgame and stuff, and how that's what the whole thing is about. Is like this time shenanigans, and like you have a character who's like, I'm gonna rewrite history and to start like throwing characters from the past and future together.
DuckTales.
Exactly. So so I was watching that, and I would probably get this game, but we'll talk about some of the stuff that's going to happen in this game that just makes you turn off to it. It's just like doesn't sound interesting, and that's obviously the publishing partners have a lot to do with that.
That's a big problem with them. Yeah. So greed has its problems. So I mean,
Destiny's got a new event, so I was doing that a little bit and some more Borderlands.
Cool. Tony,
I'm playing some more Sekiro.
I want it. I just
last week I updated you guys and like what was my first real roadblock in that game. Because like up until then, it's like the bosses would take like anywhere from like 5 to like maybe like 30, 40 minutes, where it's like, okay, depending on how long I had to like run back to fight the boss and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, like whatever. And then I fought this one boss, and I think he's like the first established big bad that the game throws at you. So I'm like, okay, like I'm expecting a tough fight here. Obviously not the end of the game, but I'm expecting a tough fight. And so traditionally Sekiro goes like this, where it's like, enemies will have a health bar, and then they'll have like little pink circles that indicate how many health bars they have. Like if it's just one, like you just need to kill them once. If they have 2, there's like you have to kill them twice essentially and stuff like that, because that's how your character works. So the first one is usually like that's their phase 1 like move set and whatnot. And I'm like, okay, like he's pretty tough actually. It took me a while until I could consistently get to phase 2. And then phase 2, I'm like, oh my god, you're such a motherfucker. Like seriously, like his moveset increases, his reaction time increases. I'm just like, God, like this is so frustrating. Like you're definitely worthy of whatever title you have and all that bullshit. And then like closer and closer, I got to like ending him. And then probably like an hour or so in, I was like, I did it. I did it. I killed him. I was twice. I was like, fuck yeah. Like literally fist pump in the air. Like, fuck yeah. Fuck you. Like it starts to go into like a cut scene, and like he's like bleeding out and all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Tell me your last words, bitch. Like before I bury you, like that. And he's like, all right, like if this is what it comes down to, I'll abandon all my humanity to defeat you. And he like throws off all his clothes and shit like that, and like suddenly he transforms. I'm like, no, like what? Like this is the first time I've ever had to fight a boss like 3 times. And this isn't like a typical like hold your hand game where it's like, oh, you get full health and like your item usage back. It's like, nope, whatever your health you were, whatever items you had left, that's it. I'm just like, no, I used it all because I didn't think I'd have to do it again.
Oh, so it's like no Cuphead. Like the second you get hit in the first phase, you're like, I'm restarting this. This is over. This is over.
I get like 3 hits on this dude and just starts doing completely new moves. We're like, what the fuck you do? And then not only that, they try to teach you a new mechanic. They're like, hey, by the way, this is how you parry like lightning. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like parry lightning, like you motherfuckers. Like, so I die. And I'm like, no. I was like, because I told myself, I was like, I'm not going to bed until I beat this boss. I'm like, got to do it. And then I'm just like, it took me another hour basically to beat this boss. I'm like, oh god, like, yeah. So
yeah, this sounds like fun.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's fun because that's the thing is like there are a few times where it's like there's questionable camera movement or whatever. I'm like, I don't know if that hit me, but like for the most part, it's like I got greedy. Like 100%, I got greedy, or like 100%, I did not block or do the right thing because that's what it's all about. Like it's you attack, you dodge, or you parry, and it's kind of nice because it's like. You have 1 of 3 options, and you better make sure you get it right, fairly consistently. And then over the weekends, I went to visit my family, and I bring my PC because I got Sekiro on PC, like I mentioned, with the paper disc in the DVD case.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah. So I was chilling with my brother, and he's like, "I want to watch you play Bloodborne," because we were talking about Sekiro, and I was like, "All right," because I started my New Game Plus on that. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, I guess I haven't had my balls broken in enough recently, so I'm just going through that. The good thing about this is like now New Game Plus, because my character's like level 100 something, and I have like a maxed out weapon, so I'm just like, for the most part, killing stuff left and right. I'm like, like motherfucker, like the one boss probably took me the equivalent of like 2 hours to beat. Just killed her in like 10 minutes. I was like, fuck you. Like, you give me so much problem
like,
first time
victory lap.
Exactly. It's a victory lap. It's like, on your left, bitch, on your left, burying you. But then I was like, you know what? I'm not saying I'm going to do it, but I'm going to start the route for platinum this game, which involves a lot of bullshit. So I had to fight an optional boss that, like, not only is the area that they're in ridiculous. And again, I'm New Game Plus. I'm level 110 or some bullshit with a maxed out weapon. And, like, just going through this place, just, like, bullshit enemies. Finally get to the boss, which is, like, so obscure. Like, I'm thankful, like, I actually had, like, good intuition. I'm like, well, this seems like a weird place for this stage to end and not have a boss. I'm like, well, I can drop down here, and then I can go over here. Anyway, found the boss. And this motherfucker, holy shit. I was like, damn, like, he was killing me so often. I'm like, and like this, like, almost got me to like rage a bit because, like, more than the guy I was fighting. Because, like, if you're too far away, he has like these homing missile things, and it's like, fuck you. And if you get close, like, he just starts meleeing you, and it's ridiculous. I'm just like, so I can't be far and I can't be close. Like, what am I supposed to do? But yeah, I'm just getting my ass kicked a lot right now.
Yeah. That's good.
It's there's a Kickstarter right now for Bloodborne board game.
I thought they did that already. Or is it
It's a card game.
Oh, okay.
This is a board game.
Oh God, no.
All right, let's get into the gaming news here. Let me open it up here. What do we got here? Last of Us 2 wrapped. Last of Us Part 2 wrapped. That's the start of
the motion capture.
Yeah, the motion capture wrap. Right. As I say wrapped. Yeah, it's a movie thing. But yes, the motion capture. There was a tweet about that. I saw that actually on my Twitter thing. Most ambitious cinematic shoot we've ever done. Hype?
Well, I mean, it's probably more ambitious than The Last of Us. So
yeah,
I'm just bigger and more in the sequels, right?
But I think they're going to say this anyways.
Well, yeah, for sure. But it probably is. But hype for me, not really. I kind of don't think this game is necessary.
I agree.
Yeah, I think we talked about this last week or something. Like, I'm more excited for Ghost of Tsushima just because it's something new and different.
I think that's gonna be cool. I really am looking forward to that.
Where this, like, we've seen before, and like I loved the way the Last of Us ended. So
I thought it was really cool. I mean, we both have our conversations about what we thought of the character there. It's almost like Inception, that ending, and it leaving it open ended like that is would have been great. And this game, I will say this I mean, it's not a prediction. I think Joel's already dead in this game.
Already dead?
Yeah. I think you start. Yeah, I think this game starts out.
What is it, Sixth Sense?
What?
Walking around.
You think it's a flash like forward, and then
I think they're going to be flashbacks to when he's around, but I think in the game he's actually already gone.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. I don't really care because, like, I think I talked to you about it, Corey. It's like, first one, like, I still like a lot, but it just ended great, and it's like there's no need to really continue that.
This
like,
is
open ended, and this I'm just like, I think it has the potential to like make it worse. It's like
I think
absolutely. This is the problem to me with The Last of Us and these games, that like where the story is pretty much the number one thing that like makes it stand out, like. Because the story is so strong and the ending was so like good as an ending that you don't know what happens next, it really makes a sequel to a game which feel unnecessary, which really shouldn't happen, like gameplay wise ever. But because gameplay doesn't matter that much, I mean, it matters, but it's not what you go to The Last of Us for. It's sort of like, I don't want to see this game now because story wise, we really should not have anything else. Or else it sort of tarnishes, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we all created our own stories afterwards, and now it's not going to meet what we expect.
Episode 7.
I mean, I would have liked that they just called it The Last of Us. Like, I would have appreciated that.
Yeah.
Or even if they had like different characters, like
different factions.
Honestly, they could have fast forwarded to like years in advance with Ellie being older. and then do their own characters with Ellie in the game. That they
I mean, I guess I still like.
I think
I was fine with Ellie's
tough.
how it ended. And it's like I don't. I just feel like I know Mike talks a little bit about this a lot, but it feels like this could potentially. And then I have more faith in Naughty Dog than I do with the show writers for the showrunners for Walking Dead. But like it has the potential to be like, why is this still going? Like, okay, Last of Us 2. Like, okay, like I expect Last of Us 1 still to be better than Last of Us 2. At least for the story and everything like that, because nothing's going to have that same momentum.
Impact, I don't think it's going to have that.
But maybe Last of Us 2 is like, okay, Last of Us 1, amazing, great, like superior, whatever. Last of Us 2, okay, like, yeah, it's really good, great even. There's like Last of Us 3, like when's it going to start to feel stale and everything? Like that's just my thoughts on that.
We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know. Like, it could be amazing,
It could be great.
Go for it, but
like I mean, even
hard to imagine it being better than what you imagined the game to be.
Yeah, and like even like the Walking Dead Telltale series, I love that first game. That was like mind blowing to me. That like I still have like fond and vivid memory of that.
So good. Yeah.
And like the last final season just came out recently. I'm like,
No, I'm the same way. Like I adored that first season.
The first season was so good, and it
was almost a chore to get through the next stuff.
I didn't do the second season, so
I mean, the second season was. I played it because I was like, well, I guess I should continue. They're continuing,
right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But all right.
The other thing that came out of that though which I thought was interesting, was that Uncharted 4 and The Last of Us, the last two games Naughty Dog, had put out, when they finished the motion capture, both those games came out within the next 6 months.
It's possible. It's possible.
So what that could mean is that this game could be out this year.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
I mean, I don't necessarily think it makes sense, especially when you're teasing PlayStation 5. And I don't know if Jim's on mute or not. It's just not. There's just.
I said nope. I am on mute apparently, but mute.
I just think that it doesn't make sense. But just as a data point, they'd come out within the next 6 months, and that would put that within this year. So it's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I still see it being a 2020 title because, like, here's the thing.
Well, I think it just makes sense to launch with the PS5.
Well, yeah, absolutely. That's I'm still banking and standing by my thing. It's going to be a cross-generation title, either like backwards compatible, as the rumors have started to show, like, or whatever the interview is backwards compatible, or enhanced for PS5. Like HD, 8K, whatever the HDR, whatever bullshit they want to come up with. But it feels like such a waste if they're releasing it holiday 2019. It's like. PS4 is like pretty much dead. Like
the thing is, though, PlayStation 3 got Last of Us on its last legs too.
Yeah, no, it
You're
did.
right.
And then they released it like a year or two later.
Yeah. You're right, Corey. But again,
everyone bought it.
I've talked about this where I feel like then it was important for Sony to end on like a high note so they can get the momentum with PlayStation 4.
I killed my PlayStation 3.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So
it was rough on my PlayStation 3 too. I was like, bro.
Yeah, it's bad.
I think that if the PlayStation 5 comes out late 2020, this game is going to be out before. I don't think they wait a 2 years. Yeah, it's like if they've already wrapped motion capture right now, there's no way they're going to wait a year and a half.
But I still think the development of this game is a bit bigger than the other games before it, so it takes longer. So like a 4 to 5 month window is not the same gauge.
Because that is the one thing that they've been talking about. James Schreier's book. It's like they always talk about like we finished Uncharted 2 and that nearly killed us, but it worked together, came together in the end. Same thing with Uncharted 3. Same thing with Last of Us. Like same thing with Uncharted 4. It's like it's just getting like more and more difficult. And we'll see. I mean, it's possible, but I just don't see it.
I don't see it this year. I don't.
I don't think it's just necessarily this year either, but I do see.
It's a possibility. It's not a non-zero chance.
I can see March. I can see March of next year, no matter what.
Early next year. Yeah, especially if PS5 is not coming until November of 2020.
Exactly. Yep.
All right. Happy news today. Yesterday, the Game Boy turned 30.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to the Game Boy. Not the first handheld, but the one that put everything on the map. I think.
Yeah.
I think it's
the most popular. Yeah. The one that set the.
Is it the first handheld with carts? Or was there another one before though?
Because part of that was Game & Watches.
I think it was the first with carts.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's all green 4-bit, right? It was a 4-bit system. Yeah. Did you guys see the pictures of Chris Evans playing that with
Scarlett?
Scarlett. Yeah, I was like, holy shit. It's hilarious. But with the link cable. Yeah, so happy birthday to that. Okay. What else we have here? We've got we already talked about the GameStop.
Well, talk
thing.
about Game Boy. You can just go in, like, we could kind of leeway into the Switch, saying, hey, China,
that was big news.
That was big news. Yeah, I think.
How would you like to buy some Switches over in China? I mean, when that news came out,
who's partnering with them again?
Like, the stock just blew up.
Nintendo announced that that's coming out over there, and who's their partners at
10 cent?
Yeah, that's
Who
the big
else
company.
is gonna be?
Yeah, so I think that. I don't know. I think that's huge for them, and
Huge.
I mean they're already having months right now. I mean, NPD came out. We're going to get into that in just a second here. That's the number one selling console this month again, and Matt Piscatella doesn't think there's any slowing down. He doesn't see it slowing down at all. I mean, really, it's you got these other systems that are at the end of their console life, and Microsoft was never selling like hotcakes as it was. So I mean, it's a free run for it. They're doing great.
No, I mean, if you have a game, an indie game that's on PC, that it just makes sense to bring it over to Switch, because look at how a lot of these have been doing. Dead Cells been killing it. Enter the Gungeon's been great on there.
Yeah, Cuphead's number one on the eShop right now.
Cuphead.
Yeah, Cuphead. So yeah,
that Katana Zero game is number 2, I think.
I want to get that. I was thinking about getting that one.
I want to get it. It's just like right now, I just can't. Like I got
gluttony. Gluttony.
I have so many games.
The other Switch news actually was breaking as we were doing the game or movie cast. Bloomberg came out with an article that said the new cheaper version of Switch, according to 2 people familiar with the matter who requested anonymity to discuss private plans, that the new device will likely be launched by the end of June, according to one of the people. And then the one that's going to be the more powerful version or whatever. They said it's not in the works, but there is going to be a modest upgrade. I don't know what that means, but
that's weird. Yeah,
they're more concrete on the
battery
cheaper version. Right, the cheaper version being in June. And to me, that totally makes sense, because that's when they're planning on launching Mario Maker 2, which was it sold really well considering it was Wii U, but it also was really popular on Twitch. And I know we've been talking about how just even in the past year or two, that's just been exploding in popularity in terms of how important it is for games like Fortnite or Apex or League of Legends or Overwatch League to get that viewership and engagement where it's people are playing and watching people play the game. So,
yeah.
So I think if they launch in June, get that Mario Maker hype, and then build up into fall with Pokemon and Animal Crossing,
I mean, they're doing great already. Like I said,
it
NPD
sounds
came.
Like no Persona 5, though.
Yeah, that's weird.
We will find out on Avengers Day. We will find out
2 more days. It's like we're gonna find this stuff out. And then we'll find out next episode.
Yeah, we will next episode. We have NPD came out. Your top selling console, like I mentioned.
Just before we go in that, just because that'll probably take a little while. I thought it was pretty interesting that Fortnite's gonna have another Avengers tie-in.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that looks really cool, actually.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Switch was number one selling console for the month of March. This is the month of March numbers. Let's see. First quarter spending on accessories, game cards was increased 2%. That's the hardware side of things. Gamepads sold really well. PlayStation 4 DualShock best-selling gamepad of 2019. Wow.
Maybe it's Sekiro.
It might be. Breaking controllers. All right. So your list, and this is an interesting list. Top 20 here. Division 2 at number 1 with no PCs. Or is that, no PC sales, right? Yeah, no PC.
Digital PC.
Sekiro was at number 2, which is insane to have that number 2. MLB The Show, Devil May Cry 5 was at number 4. Smash Brothers Ultimate at number 5, bumped from the DLC, I'm guessing.
Probably.
This is March.
Oh, this is before, yeah. Red Dead Redemption 2, 2K19. Number 8's out. Number 9 was Yoshi's Crafted World. I will not ever say that name of that game. Not happening. So you all know what's at number 8.
I mean, that's a sequel to that's got to be in the works pretty soon, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
There's somebody on LinkedIn had in their resume or CV that they worked on cars
Right.
for GTA 6.
I mean, how much of games of a service as a service is that going to be? That's going to be insane. I bet you they do that. That's all that game's going to be.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, right now it's like just basically do what you're doing now, and essentially, and
Red Dead was 6. Let's see, Yoshi's Crafted World was 9, which is very good premiere for Yoshi. Call of Duty, Black Ops 4. Whoops. Anthem, number 11. I'm not laughing, I promise. Mario Kart 8, Jump Force, Smash Brothers U Deluxe, Far Cry New Dawn, Minecraft, still, Battlefield 5. Minecraft's been up there as long as Grand Theft Auto. I should probably cut that out as well in my conversation. Battlefield 5, Breath of the Wild, which, Tony, what was that stat? 24 of 25?
23 out of 24
23
months.
24 months in the top 20 lists for this game. And like I said, deserving. Great game. I was going to mention, if the sequel of that game has like just a couple more dungeons, that may be my greatest game of all time. Like that's the only thing that was lacking for me in that game.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree.
So, Borderlands at number 19. Corey's ecstatic over there. And Odyssey was number 20.
So Borderlands had some of the best Twitch numbers in a long time.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So a couple interesting stats here was Tom Clancy's Division 2 was the best-selling game of March and is now the second best-selling game of 2019, only behind Kingdom Hearts? Kingdom Hearts 3, which is crazy to think because I just didn't get into that. Sekiro was the second best-selling game of March and now ranks as the 8th best-selling game of the year. Second highest launch month for sales for a From Software game, trailing only Dark Souls 3. MLB The Show, third best-selling game of March. Yeah, that's right. Yep. Highest in franchise history.
High seller, yeah. Like it's ridiculous.
It's the only baseball game you can have on console.
Yeah,
so.
I was kind of interested in it, but I held off because it's sports. I'm not wait for it to get cheaper. Devil May Cry 5 had a great month. Second highest launch month sales in franchise history.
Mm-hmm.
Trailing only Devil May Cry 4, which is good. And like I said, Kingdom Hearts 3 was your number one selling console of the year so far. No, it's console game of the year. Sorry. Yeah.
Game.
Yes. So excellent month for them. I mean, overall sales, how were they?
I mean, they're pretty good, but it's a down year.
I thought it was,
as expected. Hardware is down 15%. PC and console software is down 11%. Accessories down 7%. Overall, everything down 11%.
This is why we're getting these refreshes coming up.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can see it in
Generation
the trend. Year to date, this year to date thing was hilarious. I want to bring this up real quick. Kingdom Hearts 3, as you mentioned, was number 1. Division 2 is at number 2. Anthem is at number 3. Resident Evil 2 at number 4. It's early in 2019, but I mean they're beating out Red Dead Redemption 2. Furthering my point, Tony, you got to feel a little nervous about that list. You don't?
No, I don't. Look, it's number 6, man. The only month that I'm worried
I think we've
that Red Dead is November, because November will have a gluttony of other titles.
That's why I made that. It was October, November was my thought.
Right, I know, but that's the only month. Every other month, I like the summer months. Like
nothing's going to be.
Nothing's like fall. Like nothing's going to launch. Like not multiple games in the September, October, August, September, October period is going to launch to push Red Dead out of the top 20. November, that's a different story.
Yeah. All right, we'll see.
That's why we made that bet, so we'll see.
Yeah, we did. That's why I knew it was a long-term one.
Yeah,
we'll see. Yeah. All right.
We're in the end now.
Yes, we are. That's your NPD. What else we have here? Game-wise, we have the last bit of news we have is the big news for the week is Mortal Kombat, be it controversial or not, we'll find out soon. The game is getting excellent reviews. Very, very highly rated game. But I've heard some controversy about the microtransactions in the game getting in the way of actually the grind, like actually making it a problem. Right. So did we get a clarification from the company or no? Like, did they say
a response saying they're going to adjust it? They're going to look into it.
Are they adjusting it at launch?
Yeah, apparently ASAP. But
okay, because
it's the same song and dance we had with Mortal Kombat 10.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Mortal Kombat. Even Injustice 2 had this big problem. Actually, I remember talking about this with Injustice 2, and Mike. We talked about that, and they said they were going to adjust it because that was just for the preview of the game, right?
I mean, I don't remember that. I remember the legendary requirements when they added those later were so ridiculous that they had to adjust the numbers.
When the game
Well,
first
Mortal Kombat
launched,
10 was like big on that. It was like they had a whole bunny thing that was like before it, and
but
like,
I thought it was Injustice 2 where they gave you the review copy to the reviewers and didn't have
No, that was
Mortal
Kombat
10.
10.
That was 10? Okay, and then they came out with all that stuff and they had to adjust it afterwards. Okay. It just sounds like
I forgot about that. Wow.
Yeah. It sounds the same to me. I thought it was Injustice 2.
Oh, don't forget, was it Shadow of Mordor or War of Mordor or whatever the fuck it was called?
That was doing the same time. Yeah, same time. Yeah. So yeah, the game it's getting great reviews, but not to, Corey, you said that you're not interested because of a lot of things with this.
No, yeah, I mean, I really would like to play the game, and I like the Mortal Kombat series and the lore and everything, but and I'm not going to be going online too much and fighting people too much, and it sounds like a lot of the single player content is just going to be all this really like monotonous grind to get minimal rewards.
Yeah,
and that does
if
not
they
sound
adjust that, it makes it
doable.
different. Yeah,
I mean, it's funny because it used to be like you play a fighting game to fight, and that's fine. You didn't really get rewarded. You just try and test your skills and test your might. But now, like I mean, it's all about getting the skins and the items and things, and it's like RPG elements in there, and so it's like I can watch the movie on YouTube.
Mike, you're getting this game, I would assume, at some point. So, what does this do for you here?
I mean, not much.
We'll see. I would rather wait for the complete collection.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm probably gonna just get it. We'll see what happens. I know that it can be a grind when things get tough and those type of things. It's a very similar system to Injustice too. But as someone said, like you got a lot of stuff for your time in that. Like you could mix and match.
That's the thing is the grind has to be worth the reward has to be worth the grind.
Yeah.
If they adjust it back to something similar to Injustice 2, I see no problem. But we'll have to see. I have to play it really to see if it's realistic or not. Again, this reminds me of the legendary gear stuff with Injustice 2. I actually never even bothered to like get any legendary gear.
Wow.
Just because it wasn't worth it to me, especially since everything you learned. You had to sacrifice like 100 pieces of epic gear, which to that point you were trained to like value and like make sets. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that right now. There's no reason to get one piece of gear that does as a silly little buff. Like, I don't know. So that was when they missed the mark, in my opinion, on the last game. Here we'll see. Hopefully they make it reasonable because it seems like they put a lot of time into the customization for each character again. As far as like different pieces of armor and like skins and stuff like that, and that's really what keeps you coming back to the single player stuff. That's not the story. So we'll have to see. I hope it's better because it will definitely hurt its long term viability as a fun game for a single player. But I kind of, even though like I guess WB has a bad reputation because of those other things, they've never given me anything where I haven't felt like I've gotten my money's worth out of it. So to me, like,
I understand that there's a loyalty built from this, but it's like from what I'm getting from these reports, it's just seems like it's pretty bad.
Yeah, and you do get a lot of game. It sounds like there's a lot of game there.
So interesting.
But, did you see the?
What's that?
I have no idea.
Characters in this? Do we know?
I don't know the number. You're gonna get obviously a lot more later on.
Sure. Well, no, I meant in the base game. How many do you get?
Yeah,
I think it was like around 22 or something like that.
Or something.
Really? Kind of expected more for some reason.
It's actually, I think, a pretty good amount for a base game. 22.
Did you guys?
Injustice had like more, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Did you see the DLC characters got leaked?
I did see that. I didn't put it in here.
I didn't want to look at it.
Why I didn't put it in. That's why I didn't put it in the.
Yeah, I didn't put it in.
I figured Mike.
So you guys don't know who it is then?
No,
I did. See,
I do. I didn't want to share it because
I saw an image. I saw an image or two that told me 2 characters pretty much, which are interesting, to say the least. So, I mean, I don't want to see them all, but those two alone are like, oh, okay, cool.
There are 27 characters
in the base game.
11.
Okay.
Oh wait, is it 27? There's 27 spots on the roster. Yeah.
I hear there's some characters where like you fight them in the story mode, but they're not actual playable characters. I'm like, what? Like it seems so weird.
Well, Shao Kahn is a character you may fight in the story mode, but he's a DLC, a pre-order bonus.
Yeah, I think it was like one of the robot ninjas or whatever.
Sector, I think.
I don't know, dude. I don't remember their names. Yellow robot, green robot, red robot, black robot, turquoise robot.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you're gonna get those like characters as like palette swaps and like, hey, you can swap out the different pieces to make them. That's kind of what they did with Injustice.
That's what they did with the Ninja Turtles, really.
Echo Fighters.
So, all right. I think that's it for news. That's all we got. Tune in. Like I said, we're gonna get some game topics coming back soon. We've been talking about stuff anyways, like PS5 last week and the MPV here.
Yeah. Well, we're approaching E3 now. It's going to be the last couple weeks before E3.
We're gonna do some predictions for E3. E3 time, because E3 has changed where it's just gonna be around.
Spoiler cast next week.
We're gonna do Endgame.
No, I know, but I don't know. Mike was not.
No, I mean, I don't care. You guys can do it without me. I'm probably not going to see it in time.
So, well, I mean, are you seeing it the week after? I think we should do it next week. I don't know. We'll talk about it. We'll figure it out. So tune in. Good chance we're doing the spoiler cast still, but we'll see. So tune in next week to that Gamecast stuff. We're going to topic for that next week. I think we'll try to. We'll talk to you guys and hope you're enjoying all this content, and we'll see you next week. Thanks. Oh, right. It's podcast.allygeek.net. Follow us on Twitter, All You Can Geek. Like us on Facebook, and hit that subscribe button if you're watching this on YouTube. Thank you.